My high school experience was just me and Sean touching tips in the bathroom during lunch.
All right, here we go. Welcome to the Nois Bois show. My name is Trevor.
I am Austin.
And joining us today, we've got a special guest, and it's Luke.
It is.
Welcome, Luke.
It is in fact me. Yes.
Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for bringing me here. This was something I've been looking forward to. So,
Ooh.
yeah.
Trying to be so professional.
So gracious.
Very humble.
Yeah.
Oh.
we gotta turn this around.
What can I
So
say?
anyways, let's
What
just
do you mean
start
turn
it
this
off.
around?
I don't know. It's just too serious.
Turn him into an ass, you mean?
Yeah. Fun.
Here.
What?
That's gonna that joke is gonna read really well in an audio podcast.
Oh, For those of you listening, I literally turned the computer around.
All right. All right, perfect. That was exactly what we needed. Okay, bye.
And Austin has left the room.
We're 30 seconds in. Austin's gone. Okay, anyways.
It's got to be a new record or something.
So who...
It's the only record.
Yeah, I
I've
guess.
never left.
That's why it's a new record.
So, who are you? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Profile yourself.
Nothing like too in-depth, because we'll get to that, but like...
So like
Well-
height, weight, social security number, credit
mother's
card
maiden
number.
And including the PIN number, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, because
does
it's,
it
it's
include-
nothing without the
Also,
CCV number and the PIN.
the credit card and the
Yeah.
PIN and security code. On the
And
back.
expiration date.
Yes,
That's
all that.
big.
Your
That's
first-
huge.
Your first pet,
Huge.
The first pet.
where you went to elementary school.
First street you lived on.
What's your father's middle name?
Make and model of your first car.
This is getting out of hand.
Basically any general security question that may be.
Yeah, so just roll off for
just
us
get.
right
I
now.
will. You know what?
Give us
Why-
all the.
if-
Why don't I give you guys a written list of all my security
Yeah, yeah.
information?
Okay.
It's included in the video description.
Perfect.
That way we don't have to spend all this time me pulling up all my information
Yeah,
and then
yeah, great. I love it.
relaying it. So
That's a
perfect.
good
All right.
All right.
Ball is rolling.
Yeah,
well,
I like it.
fucking get ready for identity theft.
All right, and check the description, guys. It'll be down there.
Link in the description
So,
below.
so anyways, you're Luke.
I am Luke.
What got anything fun to talk about?
Well, I just finished my sophomore year at Illinois State.
Mhm.
I am a geography anthropology double major,
Mhm.
and
It's two things I hate.
I thought
one
you were
thing
doing,
I hate is
is-
I thought
I
no.
thought you were doing like
good.
archaeology. Is
And
anthropology
archaeology
similar?
is technically a subdiscipline of anthropology.
Okay, gotcha.
Many would consider it its own discipline, but
Wait.
a lot of great majority of anthropologists consider it as an underneath anthropology as a whole.
Mhm.
Okay, so were you about to say that you hate Ohio State?
Yes,
Because I know you do.
Precisely.
Do you not like my shirt, shorts, and little foam ball that I have right now?
please don't tell me that you actually meant to do that. You did not. Oh my god, I didn't even see the Ohio State. I was like, oh my god, there's no way he wore a red shirt and gray pants on purpose.
My background used to be. What? Oh,
On
you
the
want
ball.
to throw it?
Yeah.
Okay.
The idea ball.
Yeah.
My
If you're
background.
talking, you take the
You
ball.
You have to, and only those holding the ball can be speaking.
So why are
right?
you talking?
I have the power. No one else can talk. Oh,
This is great on an
Bitch.
audio podcast.
okay. Let's just get rid of that.
Hey,
It's
that's
just
not-
causing-
That's not even mine. I need to bring that back when I go to college.
All right.
It's a foam ball.
Yeah, but Bailey got it at a basketball game,
And Bailey is that emotionally connected to it.
No, he didn't. He knew that.
He
He,
has no
he knew
idea
it was
it's here.
gone. No, because he saw it.
Bailey. There's no way Billy knows that it's
Billy.
Bailey. Shit.
Moving on.
So, anyways, why do you hate Ohio State?
It's really just kind of growing up. I really can.
That's like me liking them. Oh, I just grew up.
I've just like learned more. I have a bigger brain now.
I feel like I got
I've
that-
developed.
It's just obvious.
developed that hatred from my father. Just kind of just
Jesus
sitting and
Christ.
watching. My dad is a huge sports nut, and just sitting around watching. I guess he never liked Ohio State.
Hey, people hate winning. I know.
Go on. Look, I'm just. We're playing a good cop, bad cop thing here.
I know.
This podcast, it's gonna happen.
But it was just kind of growing up around that.
Well, also, I think it's the fact that because I liked Ohio State for so long,
No way.
Luke and I have known each other
so it's
since
just kind of something
kindergarten.
that we've,
It was just always the thing that he would just give me crap.
dare I
for.
say, a connection that we had.
So
Although I don't know if I'd call it much of a connection.
let's actually talk about that, right? Because we usually do this. We're like we
talk about how we met everybody,
How
yeah.
did you meet
Mhm.
everyone, right? Because you
Yeah.
met
So,
Austin kindergarten.
No, we met before that.
that
oh,
was
God.
the first.
We met when we were
Okay.
Remember we were babies.
We met when we were infants.
We were sitting in our strollers and we
Popped
met
out
each
the
other at the
womb
park.
together.
Yes, that's how we met.
That doesn't count.
I don't remember it.
That doesn't count.
But that's
Neither
what-
do I.
But that's what our parents have said.
simultaneously popped out the womb.
I
high five
actually
midair.
met you in kindergarten.
Okay, weird story. So, not weird story, just interesting.
Okay.
So, I remember all these times. So, Luke and I in kindergarten were not in the same class.
Mhm.
But
Always
We would
saw
see each other in the
during-
hallway.
In the hallway, going between
Yeah.
like gym and or whatnot. Or, did we do?
it
gym?
was
We didn't do
it
gym.
was
was
mostly at the end of the day when I
Yeah.
remember seeing you when we were waiting for buses. And from what I remember is I don't remember who he was. I just
Yeah,
remember
it was just-
saying
he was just
hi to
kind of-
him.
Yeah.
Or
he was
no,
just
not
kind
even
of
saying
that
hi. He
guy
would
that
say
just
hi to
kind
me,
of-
and I'd be like,
Right.
"Hey, Luke," and in my head, I'm like, "I know this guy is Luke." That's about it.
And to this day, nothing has changed.
Yeah, that's the extent of our relationship. But no, he used to come over
We're learning
before
right
like,
along with
oh,
you
hey,
guys.
Luke.
Hey, Austin.
That's how
See?
the conversations went.
Did you ever
And
say "Hey, Austin"? Or did
14,
you just
15
always
years
say,
later?
No, he would say like, "Hey."
I don't
Okay.
know. I don't. Austin might be a better authority on this
Yeah.
because I remember seeing Austin constantly in the hallway. I don't remember any finer details beyond that.
"Hey"?
It's
Um,
lost to history as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Yeah, Luke used to come over sometimes before elementary school. I think if your mom had to go into work early or something, and we
Yeah,
would
so
play.
I think it was on Wednesdays. My mom
I
had
thought
to
you were just
go
gonna say
in.
Wednesday.
Oh,
yeah,
I think
it was
it
back
was-
on Wednesday.
I
that
think it was. I
Wednesday.
remember it was one day. It was like 1 or 2 days of the week where my mom. So my mom used to split her time between the preschool that she worked at and then a local elementary school. And so when she was at the elementary school a couple days a week, she had to go in a little bit earlier for whatever reason. And so since I was 6, 7, 8 years old,
Mhm.
He wasn't
And-
a man yet. He couldn't take care of himself.
Yeah.
my dad had work. My I don't remember what my brother was doing, but my
They didn't care about him.
yeah, he's a bit of an
Clearly.
afterthought at the moment. Just kidding. But anyways, so my mom had to leave early for work. So instead of leaving me home, she would bring me over to Austin's house, and then Austin and I would
Take
get on the bus together. Because
Okay.
if I remember correctly, we took the same bus, right?
Yeah.
Something like that. I
We,
don't.
there
I
were
don't
there were
remember the
times
bus
there were
schedule
times
or
where
routes.
it switched. There were times where we were on the same
Oh,
bus
they
route, and
split
there were
you guys
years.
up. It was a real Romeo and Juliet.
And there were years.
Yeah, 'cause
then there were
we're-
years where
we're
we
dead
weren't
right
on the
now.
same bus route. I don't know.
They
there were
they
some weird bus-
constantly changed.
No, because
the
there
bus
were
routes.
times where we had bus routes in just our neighborhood, and then they had ones where it went across the street to the other neighborhood,
Yeah.
and then ones where they would have two in our neighborhood, and it was like, why can't you just keep it the same?
And like I could literally see the other bus down the street.
Yeah.
We would in high school, we would pass by kids and not pick them up because they were on a different bus. I was like, it doesn't make sense.
Yikes.
But anyways,
just like district boundaries,
so Luke would come over, and we would either play Halo 2
or
or
the
plane
flying
game. I don't know what it was called.
No. Give me a second. It wasn't Blazing Angels.
it wasn't War Thunder.
No.
because that's a
War Thunder
computer.
was long. This was long before.
I'm
War
just saying that's
Thunder.
just the only flying game I can think about.
Shit. Angels,
Jesus
Angels something or other.
I don't remember.
Angels of War. Angels
No,
of the Sky.
Angels in the Sky.
I can look it up.
Yeah, I think it was Angels in the Sky. It
Right.
definitely had angels in it. No, or maybe I'm thinking of Blazing
Was it
Angels.
Blazing Angels?
No, that was still a bit before Blazing Angels became a
I have
franchise.
no idea. Anyways, you played Halo 2 in some plane game.
Yes. It was. Oh, sorry, I don't have the answer. I'm just trying
Angels
to
in
think.
the Air or something.
But yeah, I just remember playing that game like specifically. Like Luke would come over on. I think that was like the original Xbox,
Oh yes.
and we would.
Oh yes.
I just remember specifically sitting in our TV room
Mhm.
playing the Halo 2 mission where you take
On the bridge.
take the scarab at the end.
The
I
bridge.
have no idea.
And I fucking love
funny
that.
enough.
I fucking love that tank.
Funny
Oh my god,
enough,
that was so much fun.
I just played that mission last night with Ryan on Halo. We played because we're playing through all the Halo games on Master Chief Collection. We're going through Halo 2 right now. We just played that one.
That was
And it was weird because I have so much nostalgia playing it because I'm like, I remember everything.
Yeah.
Like, we played Halo Combat Evolved. I was like, I've never played this before, and it was also stupid. But yeah, it was.
It's historical,
but
though.
it's also dumb.
Well, no, it's just the thing I didn't like is so basically you go through the campaign about halfway, and then the second half is just you going back through everything that you just went through.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
That's basically my experience of playing it.
Okay.
That was the extent of
Yeah,
it.
that's weird. Whatever. How much is Master Chief Collection?
$20?
Really?
Yeah.
And
then
what does that include?
It includes Halo Combat Evolved, Halo 2, Halo 3, Halo 4, and then for $5 you can add Halo 3 ODST.
What about Reach? Not on there?
No, but I think they said they were adding it when they're putting it on Steam, I think, or whatever PC platform they're going to use.
And Halo Wars isn't on there?
No.
Okay.
But you can get the Halo Wars 2 Definitive Edition?
Yeah.
Or no, Halo Wars 2 or something. I don't know what it was. But
So this has transitioned from a podcast about loot to a podcast about Halo.
Well, we're just talking.
I know,
Whatever.
I'm fucking around.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah,
I was just expecting it to be a lot more, just because it's got so many games. But yeah, I guess
Well-
they're like old at this point, so they don't really cost much.
Yeah, but it's not like COD where it's like 3 years, not
Yeah.
3 years, where it's like 5 years old and still charging like $60 for the game. It's like no one wants to pay that amount.
Yeah.
Can you believe No Man's Sky is still full price?
And this game is
Can you believe it was ever full price?
But to this day, most games after like 3-4 months of being out will lower their price. No Man's Sky had such a poor release.
It was a scam from day one.
It
You
was a-
think they're gonna stop? They're committed now.
was that
When I tried the game
It's
and
a procedurally generated space.
And it
the
was-
one that
in
it was
my-
supposed to be
my
like as
game-
wide as
my
an ocean, deep as
playthrough-
a puddle. That's what Ryan described it.
Yeah.
my
exactly.
gameplay was exactly like every single review that I watched before I didn't buy the game. I got it through GameFly because I figured I'd blow
I
through the
remember
free
I
trial.
used to see those commercials all the time.
Yeah.
I figured I'd get the free trial because I was kind of, the concept of the game seemed really cool. And like the first 2 or 3 days that I played the game, like my mind was blown. And then as I started to get to play more in the following days, the same shit every time. Okay. They operated on the idea that nothing is the same.
But everything.
When they say nothing is the same, they mean the tiniest details.
Mhm.
They
That-
change it around.
This animal's got 3 ears instead of 4.
Exactly. Like they literally had a set number of heads, of bodies, legs, tails,
Is
whatever.
that like with
And then they would
Borderlands?
just literally just mash them up together randomly, and it was just ridiculous.
Like Borderlands 2 having the record for the most unique guns in a game, but it was just changing. It was basically just a bunch of different weapon parts that you could have on different weapons.
okay.
So it wasn't like insanely different, but they also
Kind of like how in Advanced Warfare they had the gun
Yeah,
skins.
but the difference
I
is
never really played
Borderlands
that
2
unless I played
didn't
with your house.
Borderlands 2 didn't build their entire marketing campaign on how different everything was.
Yeah, Borderlands 2 built their campaign on
On Borderlands 1.
Also on their character. The characters are great. Just I love that game.
Yeah, No Man's
Well,
Sky. It would have been
Fucking
successful if
annoying.
it was released as like a small indie game for $15. But they hyped it up for a year. They made claims that were lies, and there was no substance to it.
Claptrap is the most annoying video game character of all time. Changed my mind.
He's cute.
He's annoying, and I understand that's kind of
Minion.
the point. I understand that's kind of the point of his character is just to be annoying.
Stairs.
But just
No,
he just
I'm gonna
you'll be
take
going
Handsome
along.
Jack a new asshole.
You'll be going along, and he'll just shout out random things, and he's got a collection of things that he can say, and he'll just shout them out, and it's just like, shut the. You really want to shoot him, but you can't because he's an integral part of the game.
Well, if you shoot him, doesn't he just say something else, Woody?
Exactly. So it's a vicious cycle.
It just
you
makes it
can't get
worse.
rid of him.
Let
The
me
only
know
way to
when
get
you're
rid of
done with
him
that
is to mute it.
job.
Oh my god.
Hey, you can't have that. This is mine. You can go find your own.
Bitch slap the hell
I
out
played
of
this
him.
game too
So
much.
you guys played Halo 2 in some plain game.
So back to Luke.
So yeah, so then that was honestly one of the things that I looked forward to the most because this was before I had any sort of game console beyond.
Yeah,
my
I was
Game
just
Boy.
used.
This was beyond this. I had a Game Boy Advance
Advanced SP.
SP, yeah,
Yeah, a lot of us had those.
Okay.
and that was the only
I had a GameCube.
I
That's
had
my earliest
no gaming system beyond that, handheld or console. And so anytime I got to play any like Xbox, PlayStation game, it was a fucking field day for me.
Mm-hmm.
And so like this was just one of the things that I look forward to most. And then getting to hang out with Austin was also, don't forget, I wasn't forgetting about you, buddy. That was also something that I looked forward to.
Cool.
But
so
yeah.
You were just used.
Yeah.
And I remember we had was part of that trio
From first grade.
from we had what, first grade together?
Third?
First and third. Definitely not second. I don't know about we weren't fifth grade. Who did you have fifth grade?
Or originally.
And then then he became assistant principal, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then
they switched halfway through?
No,
Yeah.
not halfway through. It was like almost a month in. Like it wasn't that long.
Oh.
Was it? I
It
thought
was very early
than
on.
that.
No, because
Yeah.
she was our teacher for the most of the school year. And I was so excited to have again because he was great from third grade and like everyone loved him. And then she was like, he left.
Wow, Felicia.
It's like just like everyone's like I love you, and then he's like I love you too, and then he's like okay, I got a job as a superintendent. See you guys later.
Yeah.
No one knows what we're talking about.
How many principals did we go through? I think we went through four different principals,
Yeah.
and two of them lasted a semester each.
Mm-hmm. The first one
was the best thing to happen to that school.
Yeah.
I'm still convinced of that to this day.
He was great.
He was great. Not only was he just
everyone loved
was he a hit with us? Yeah, exactly.
Everyone loved
the
him.
students loved him. He
also
actually got things done.
Also, a lot of policies changed.
Exactly.
When we came here, which was his first year.
Right.
Like, a lot of things were different. Like, when we showed up to that school, like, it was very different the year before.
I remember on a daily basis he would be waiting outside greeting everybody as they walked into school. It didn't matter what the weather was like. He was there constantly.
Such a nice guy.
He was such a great guy.
And then
after sophomore year,
we had
bye.
Then sophomore year we had like
oh my God,
two.
not that guy.
Oh, the old guy that
who had us? Do you remember that?
Yes, the assembly.
Oh my God!
I don't remember this.
Everybody hold hands.
Oh, yeah.
Time out. Why?
No, so what happened?
Why?
So you know the program Talk that we have,
Yeah.
where it's like maybe
So
100 kids,
I like that.
maybe 100 kids. But
Talk was fun.
Yeah,
Right.
no, but here's the problem: the whole assembly was about this program that only about 100 kids did, and he's trying to explain things that happened to the rest of the school,
And nobody gives a fuck.
and no one knows what
cared.
the hell he's talking
And then
about.
at the end, remember he was like, exchange phone numbers with people around you, and I'm like, I'm sitting by all of you guys, and I'm like,
it shouldn't have been a whole
I think
assembly.
we're good.
It should have been part of an assembly.
Yeah.
That
It was
would have
just.
been fine.
I mean,
He
it
was
got,
just,
it
like,
got
at
us
the
out of first period.
Yeah,
for,
just
like,
at the beginning of the day, he's
half
like,
the-
"All right,
half
I
the
want an
period."
assembly with the entire student population."
I was like, okay.
I was like, "Cool, I got out of class,"
What are
and
you
I'm
saying?
like, "I'd rather be in class."
And
I don't
that's
even
saying
remember
something.
what
Our
class I got
school
out of.
was thousands of kids.
almost 3,000.
Like almost
20
3,000 people, right?
2,400, I think.
It's approaching like
It's more
3,000
than that now, but
Yeah.
when we were there, it was about 24,
Yeah,
25.
so the whole student population is a lot.
Yeah.
Talk was a program where it's like a group of kids who wanted to, they signed up and you got together in like groups, and it was just like an open
discussion
place to talk about whatever you wanted to talk about in your life. It was cool.
It was.
I mean, I never
it wasn't
participated,
honestly.
but-
I'm glad I did it my senior year, and I'm glad I did it because it was a very, not necessarily enriching experience, but it was just kind of a lot of these
Eye-opening?
people. Yeah, it really was eye opening.
Refreshing? Maybe? No?
Eye opening. No,
Okay.
just to kind of see,
Jesus, you gave me like a stink eye for just trying to give him a synonym.
he just stares at you just no.
Anyways,
Okay,
yeah.
Mr. Thesaurus.
So I was just trying to give them some context for people who are listening who don't know what that is.
So
can we expect anyone who doesn't know who we are?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm sure there's some random people who've come across this.
When I'm
I don't
famous
look at
one
the
day,
data.
Me neither.
mine will probably be. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I'll just
So you met Austin in kindergarten.
get the Dobre twins. I'm gonna be the next YouTube sensation off this video.
You met Austin in kindergarten. Then what? Then who's next out of the group?
Then
Who was your next
our friend
victim?
who's there came next.
Who-
No.
out
In
of
the
our
of the
group?
Nois Bois.
Oh, probably I'd have to say Connor was probably next because baseball.
Oh, did you not meet him in third grade?
Honestly, I don't remember. I remember.
Did you have?
No, I never had him.
Oh.
Unfortunately, because I always liked him. but I'm pretty sure. Okay, let's see. Let me pull up. Let me kind of
Pull up
the
your
list.
your mental notes.
My mental list of people.
Yeah, because he's not actually taking anything.
Okay,
out.
so Tom
That'd be
Tom
kinda
was
weird.
definitely later because I don't remember meeting. I remember meeting Tom actually at football games in 8th grade.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. Is that long?
Yeah.
That's late.
With and you as well, I believe. I think you and Tom.
Yeah,
I met you guys at
maybe.
the same time.
I don't remember when I first met you, honestly. I just remembered.
It was
like,
all a
the group.
blur of sadness and
Yeah.
despair.
Like, I can't think of one time where we, like, exclusively met.
No,
I just feel like
can't-
I've known you.
Right. I believe So I believe Connor was next. Let's see. Are we counting? Ryan.
No.
What? No.
I remember I pulled out the Us CD yesterday, and I was very
He was just
surprised to
there.
see him on the cover.
I don't know.
And I was
just,
like,
he just happened to be there.
Mm-hmm.
but I do remember him like coming to hang. He would hang out with us
He sat at our
sometimes.
table at the beginning.
When in the morning.
Yeah, quite a few.
That was
times.
That's honestly like one of my fondest memories of high school is just kind of coming in the morning, and then we were all there.
I think one of my favorite memories of that whole thing was just the fact that we'd all be sitting there, and then school starts at 7:20, and like the warning bell would ring at 7:15, and at 7:14 you would see Nathan walking in every single day.
Because who was he with?
No, he was by himself.
This was before Nicole.
I don't know if this was like before, but it's just he would just never show up because his parents would drive him, and he wouldn't even be in any sort of hurry. He'd just be moseying along, just like,
Really would.
it's okay. Like, I just find it funny that it's just like he doesn't seem to care about anything sometimes.
I mean, yeah, that definitely. I think. That
And then
makes
he ended up
sense.
becoming like the VP of Rho Kappa somehow.
Yeah, I distinctly remember during a meeting he's making a speech, and I'm taking a video on Snapchat with the caption that says "I didn't vote for him," even though we didn't vote.
Jesus.
We didn't vote for people.
Wasn't it? Was it just chosen
By what's her name?
The person is in charge.
Yeah. Shoot,
What's her name? She was
teacher.
I don't remember her name.
I don't remember her name either.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure like you ran for it,
Is
and
that
then she
Walters?
chose it.
Yeah, because I was gonna say I thought Nate had a good stand.
And as a joke, I took a video and said I didn't vote, or not not my vice president or something.
Not my
Just
not
as
my
a
VP.
joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nate's a cool guy. You'll get to meet him.
We'll get him on here soon.
Yeah, soon. Oh,
Yeah.
well, he's in
Maybe.
California right now.
I mean, he can't be there forever. He can't hide
He can.
forever.
Yeah, you can.
Wanna bet?
Wait. Wasn't there the time where who is it? You and Trevor K showed up to his house or something to ask if he was there, and his dad opened the door, and you could see Nate standing at the top of the stairs, and his dad was like, "No, Nate's not here right now," or something.
Yeah. Yes. I don't remember when that was, but I
remember hearing
that.
this story. So he can hide forever. It is possible.
Just gotta get through his
Absolutely is
dad.
possible.
You just gotta get. Wait. Oh, never mind. I'm not gonna explain that story. I've said it before.
We might have to do his podcast over Xbox.
If that.
Correct me if I'm
No.
wrong, but he's always on Xbox at night, is he not?
No.
I wouldn't
Not
say
really?
anymore.
Not very much. No. I feel like he's
Not as much
Okay.
now.
Yeah.
Fair
But
enough.
in like high school and middle school, oh yeah. Oh, I remember he first got into COD when Modern Warfare 3 was a thing. He said he couldn't go more, like he had to play at least an hour every day.
Yeah. Didn't we do like the math or something to figure out he's played like
You and Zach did
months
it, right?
and
or
months
something?
of COD?
Yeah, he played a lot. He played a
I
lot.
thought he was huge into Siege, isn't he?
He's now we kind of play it together.
He's still a Call of Duty.
Yeah, he still
lover.
plays Black Ops 4 now.
God.
He's a purist. Not a purist.
Is that a purist? Loyalist?
All right,
Loyalist, that's
let's
the
let's
word,
go
yeah.
around. Let's go around and say the last Call of Duty game we legitimately bought and played.
Black Ops 3.
Black Ops 4. You're probably Advanced Warfare.
Yeah, my brother got World War II, but
I
I
really
really
liked
didn't play
Black
it
Ops
that
3.
much.
You what?
I really liked Black Ops.
I
3.
liked it too. I
Black
thought
Ops
it was a pretty
2,
balanced
Black
game.
Ops 2 is still Black Ops 2, and then Modern Warfare 2 are like neck and neck as my
Black
favorites.
Ops 2 is my second favorite
Yep.
because it's
Really, I think that's my favorite.
well,
Did you say 2?
Black Ops 2 is my second favorite because I had so much fun playing Modern Warfare 2 when that was a
Mhm.
thing. The only problem that I have with Modern Warfare 2 though
It's actually a terrible game.
is that it's actually extremely unbalanced and an awful.
Yeah.
It's actually a really bad
honestly
game.
it was the campaign that did it for me.
But yeah, I'm just saying the multiplayer is what most people
that's
played,
true.
and
The
it was
story-
just really bad.
That's
it was
really-
just an awful.
That's really
multiplayer.
how I base like how I think of the COD games is like really on the campaign is kind of because I always
Yeah,
somebody who always appreciated a well-rounded story with dynamic characters and whatnot, and that's something that kind of
And now COD's like, hey, we're getting rid of the campaign
Yeah.
to so you can pay the same amount for less content.
Mm-hmm. It's really the
now
only.
we're gonna
campaign
and we're
I
also gonna
remember.
call it Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
But
the
there's
new
like
one,
the subtitle is there's no subtitle. That's the only difference. It's like what was the original Modern Warfare? It was like
Call of Duty 4.
4. That's it. Yeah.
'cause-
So now
and
it's
no
just Call
one
of Duty
call-
Modern Warfare.
Because
Yeah.
COD 4, no one calls it COD Modern Warfare,
Right.
which I think also
Everybody
helps.
just calls it
in-
Modern Warfare.
No, everyone calls it COD 4. Like no one calls it Modern Warfare, but it's in the same series as MW2 and MW3, which I
Right.
find interesting.
Right.
Although Modern Warfare 3 was like the story was loosely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it
think it's
was
just funny
loosely
because
connected.
that's the one that Nate got into, and he's probably played like way more than I have.
Mm-hmm.
And then the campaign just gets shittier, just goes downhill from.
That's probably
from
why they
Black Ops-
stopped.
or from Modern Warfare 3.
Because they were like, we can't do this anymore.
And then Black Ops 4 they said fuck it, we're not even gonna do it.
No, it wasn't even
It's
a-
always shitty.
No, there was a campaign in Black Ops 3, but if you bought the Xbox 360 edition or like the last gen, previous gen
Yeah.
edition, there was no campaign, even though it cost the same amount. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Well, because their justification for doing that is that the campaign's not going to make them any money, so it's kind of whether they put it in there or not, they're going to charge the same amount.
See, but it's like
they know people
for
are gonna
every
buy
game
it.
that like has a campaign like that, like I will usually play the campaign first before
Exactly,
I even step
exactly.
into multiplayer. Because if I don't,
It's essentially
I'm
a
not
tutorial.
gonna go.
Well, yeah, exactly. You're learning the weapons.
I don't need to learn that tutorial. I can play COD or Halo like whenever. But the problem is that I think in Halo 4, I played the campaign about halfway through, and then I went to multiplayer. And it took me, I think, until Halo 5 came out for me to even go back and complete the campaign. Because I know once I start playing the multiplayer, I'm not going to want to go back to the campaign.
Yeah.
But now I'm playing through all the games anyway, so why does it matter?
We'll see. Yeah. Did we get through everyone?
No, we didn't get through like anybody.
So I remember
We're getting
we
so off
We
topic.
covered you, Connor,
Tom,
Me,
Trevor.
Murrow,
Tom, Nate.
Tom, Nate. I knew Nate. I think how I met Nate was we both played
Nate.
clarinet in junior high, and I think that was how I met him.
A lot of us were friends in band.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Were you? You were never in band, were you?
No, I was just in band through.
Trevor K was never in
through an
band, was he?
ex-girlfriend.
Trevor K was never
No.
in band.
Mm-mm. No, he wasn't.
Connor was obviously in
It
band.
was you.
If anybody was in band, it would have been
it-
Connor.
Zach was in band. Did you say that?
Zach
right?
was a clarinet. Yep.
It was me, Luke, Nate,
Zach,
Zach, Connor.
I mean, there were other people.
Wait, no, was that?
That was it.
I was
Tom was never in it. Trevor Murrow was never in it.
No.
Yeah.
Neither
was it.
Trevor was ever in the
That was it.
band.
Nah, Nathaniel wasn't.
Nathaniel wasn't.
Mm-mm.
Nope. Adam wasn't.
Was he? Though?
No,
Sean
in middle
was.
school. In
He
middle
was.
school, he played
Yeah, that's
trombone.
true.
He
He
played
was.
trombone in
Sean
middle
also
school.
was in middle school.
Sean
Yeah,
was bass
yeah,
clarinet. Sean was
yeah,
a
that's
clarinet
right.
too, and then 7th grade
But you guys had
switched
the
to
psycho,
bass clarinet.
Yeah. Okay.
You guys had the psycho band director in middle school though.
No.
That
no,
scared
no.
Sean off.
That
Was
That
that,
was
was
Murphy.
that Murphy?
That was Murphy.
Murphy.
That was
yeah.
that. That was that.
I
that was
heard-
that fat Asian lady.
she
She was.
No, I mean that.
She was.
You see, because I
there
was no. I was the only one out of all of us.
She wasn't
Um,
bad because she was Asian. She was
yeah.
just bad
No, she was
and
just
also
strict.
Asian.
That was just how I remember her.
it
Unrelated.
wasn't meant to
It
be
was
racist.
just an
It was just
extra-
a.
It was just an extra
extra-
adjective tacked on.
Yeah.
Okay, it's unrelated. Anyways, yeah, that's who I'm thinking of.
Yeah, no, Mrs. What's her name?
Car something.
No,
Karavanu.
that's
I
her.
never had to go, or I never had to deal with her. So
Whatever, it doesn't matter. When did
all
you
right.
meet Sean? When did you meet Adam? When did you meet Trevor K?
I believe I met Sean in junior high as well.
Mm-hmm.
Sean and I also played baseball together,
Yeah,
or
and you
against
eventually-
each other, really.
And you eventually played bowling together too.
Yeah, and we were on the bowling team, and that's when I really kind of started
Did you
to
say
talk to Sean.
played bowling? Is
It's,
that
I
what
mean,
bowling
it's
is?
whatever. It's
They were
I know
on the
exactly.
bowling
I know
team,
exactly
but
what
it
you
doesn't
meant.
matter.
You're splitting. You're
just
splitting
like-
hairs. I know. It's not something that you hear people say, but you're
Look,
kind of splitting hairs at that
It's
point.
get
like-
off my back. Shit.
I'm on the other side of the table.
I know. That's the issue. Come here.
Ow. That wasn't even funny. It's not even a joke.
That's like saying I play wrestling. Like,
Yeah. Well,
you just say I wrestle or I'm a wrestler.
Okay, moving on.
yeah, okay. I'm
But
a
yeah.
bowler with Sean. That sounds worse.
Sean and I started, I really
high
didn't
school.
start to become closer to Sean until after high school
Uh-huh.
for reasons I'm not going to get into.
Yeah.
But yeah, because
Austin.
we were touching tips.
Austin
We were
is
touching
signaling two fingers.
Sean and I would
each other.
just my
gay
high school
stuff.
experience was just me and Sean touching tips in the bathroom during lunch.
That's on the internet now.
Yeah.
For
For those of you not here with us, Austin literally just puts his index fingers together.
I think I'm
It's
going to
simulating us
start the
touching
podcast
tips.
with only that clip isolated out of context.
What, just
Me
me
and
going
Sean
like
touching
this?
dicks in the
just,
bathroom.
just high school consisted
can
of
you-
me and Sean touching tips.
Can
in the
you
bathroom.
can you
During
take that? Can you
lunch.
take that audio clip and just put it at the beginning?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, I'm gonna
okay.
put it out of
I didn't
context
know
at the
you-
beginning. And you know what's funny about that? All the random people that show up on our video, most of the time leave after like 2 minutes.
Where's the mic?
Right. So they're never gonna know.
Where's the mic on the
context.
computer?
I don't know. It's somewhere. Don't blast out my.
Damn it. Oh, but Austin got to do it.
What?
Oh, well,
You would
he's,
literally
like,
just
flying
smother
on
the mic. No.
table.
There were times I remember when we were watching when you were showing me Connor's one.
Yeah.
There were a couple times where Austin just literally smothered the mic
I don't know.
Oh,
He was
sorry.
probably just
for
talking too
comedic
loud.
effect.
He probably just talked really loud. for no
That
reason.
never happened.
Penis.
Okay.
All right.
So you want to put my censor in from the last episode?
I'm good. I'm not doing that.
Okay.
We're
You're
gonna
not
swear.
going?
It's fine. Fuck that. I mean, I haven't even started editing that video, and I'm gonna hate myself more.
Just put that explicit content rating on YouTube.
Yeah.
when you
I mean,
post it.
I don't know. Whatever. Anyways, so you met Sean in high school. We became friends after high school. Did you meet Adam ever? Or just like.
Did you ever see?
Well,
that?
Adam, Adam and my interaction
Did you
was
ever
a
meet
bit of an
Ford on
interesting
that?
story.
Ooh.
So actually, Adam and I had met in junior high, I believe. I don't remember where or how, but I know we met sometime in junior high. And
Do
we
you
really
mean the
didn't
AA
talk
club?
very much in high school. And then sophomore year, so Allie comes into the picture.
I remember her.
Yeah.
I was
We
friends
sit
with her
next
for
to
like
each
a
other.
year.
We sat next to each other in our AP Euro class, and then Allie and I started to kind of, flirt a little bit. Started to come close, and
Ooh.
I one day, this was homecoming was coming up, and I just just asked her, I'm like, hey, do you want to go to homecoming with me? And she got quiet for a second, and then looked at me and said, I can't. She said, I'm already going with Adam.
And then you beat him up.
Boom.
Stole.
Well, actually,
What? Wait, what?
so apparently she really didn't want to go with him.
Damn, you're gonna do Adam like this?
Anyway, so the dance comes around. I was with Allie for a decent amount of the dance, and kind of afterwards, Adam somehow got a hold of my phone number and was texting me and kind of and pushed me away from Allie.
Mhm.
Not because he told me to like stop talking to her, just because I just felt it was really weird, because if I were to keep interacting with Allie, I'd have to. Adam was, I don't know. It was just this weird thing. So that was kind of my first. That was kind of the my first interaction that I remember with Adam. So
You
Adam and I
guys
really didn't get along
yeah,
from the
You
beginning.
guys didn't just fight for her honor or anything? You didn't pull out like a sword or something? Or I guess in this day a Glock.
Yeah, it was.
At
It's
homecoming.
Yeah. So that's pretty much everyone, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
That I can think of.
So let's move on, right?
Okay.
Well, Jake and I never really interacted
Oh, yeah,
that
that's
much.
true.
Not for any reason. I always
Well,
kind
'cause
of
he
liked.
went to
Well, there's
another
a
school.
reason.
Right. He moved and he went to. But I always liked Jake. I just we just never for no particular reason we just really never interacted that much. But
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing a little more of Jake.
I can't imagine anyone who wouldn't like Jake.
He's
No,
he's
when
a
you say
naturally nice
that-
guy.
Do you mean seeing him more often or seeing more of his body?
No, we're not cutting that.
Yes, we are.
We already did the whole thing about you and Adam touching.
Oh, I
tips.
accidentally
You
opened Don't
opened
Starve.
You opened Steam. Yeah. Okay. Nice one. You want to do that again so we can actually hear it? A little bit louder this time. And we're back. This just in, Luke is about to tell us where he went to school and why.
Hey guys, how's it going? So yeah, I go to Illinois State University down in Normal, Illinois. So
Hit me up.
pretty much in the middle of Hopunk nowhere.
What did you say?
Yeah, Hopunk nowhere.
Hole punch?
Hopunk nowhere.
Okay, I've never heard that before.
So basically, you're in the middle of farm country.
Yeah.
At
I've
least
just
2
never-
hours from any major city,
I've just
excluding
never heard of
Peoria.
Well,
Peoria is like 40 minutes away, but there's like
it's the whole
other than
country.
Bradley, there's nothing to do in Peoria.
I was just thinking,
My
like,
stomach hurts.
it kind of makes sense though, right? Like you just have a big blank sheet of paper and you can just hole punch anywhere in it, and that's your little.
It's in the
area.
middle of hole punch nowhere.
Oh my god, why am I laughing?
I'm sorry.
Let's copyright that.
No. Okay. I don't know.
Let's copyright that phrase.
Oh yeah, trademark it.
Trademark it.
Yeah.
Whatever.
No, whatever. It had so much vitriol in it. Oh my god! All right. So you're doing anthropology,
Anthropology
which is
and
a
geography.
Anthropology
Is the anthropology is the overarching study of humanity and human interaction.
Yeah.
Separate from sociology. I can't even fucking tell you the difference between anthropology and sociology. As far as I'm concerned, they're pretty
Between
So
similar.
so I don't know.
Anthropology and
I
sociology.
don't know anyone. I've never heard of anyone.
No,
majoring in
and even
anthropology.
before I even got to college, I don't think I'm sure I had heard the word
He's a pioneer.
anthropology, but I had never
You're majoring
thought
in
about what
something
it
you didn't
meant.
even know what the
How-
word
so-
was.
Before I came into college, yes.
Right.
And my original intention of going into college was to be a history major, and then I talked to some people, I talked to some teachers at Oswego East, and kind of and kind of came to the consensus that it's going to be difficult to be a history teacher in the present environment because the teaching market is flooded with social studies and history teachers.
Right.
So, and also looked into just being a general history major, not exactly very lucrative because kind of,
There's not a lot.
unless you want to be a professor, which I'm still kind of on the fence about that. You're not really it's not a ton to do with just a history degree. So I started doing some research,
Mhm.
stumbled upon anthropology, and I had always wanted to be an archaeologist, but I really never thought about doing it as a career. I really never thought it was possible to do it as a career. And then when I found out that archaeology was technically a part of anthropology, I was on board 100%.
Cool.
And so freshman year, at least first semester freshman year, I was just an anthropology major. And when I met with my advisor for the first time, and he went through the classes that I had to take and then the timetable that I would take these classes, started to realize that anthropology was going to be something that if I just solely majored in that, I could be done very quickly and I really wouldn't have a whole lot to do. So I kind of thought about it and I'm like, well, might as well double major. And I started doing some research and I, always had a knack for geography, for maps and whatnot. And I decided, what the hell, why not? So I added geography as my second major. And to this day, it is probably one of the single best choices that I've made for myself. Because I've found a community of people who are a hell of a lot like me. Like all the geography majors are just, we're all super nerds. It's wonderful. It's so refreshing to be surrounded by people who are just as nerdy and openly nerdy as you are.
Yeah.
And because of that, I was able to get an opportunity over, in actually 2 or 3 weeks from now.
Which will actually be maybe like 2 or 3 weeks ago when this comes out.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
So how was it?
that was what?
Your opportunity.
Yeah, because
So-
it's in the past.
It happened already.
So, in essence, I'm going to be going to Hungary
You
and
went
joining
to.
people
Stop.
with or
Uh-huh.
from UIC and the Field Museum.
In Chicago.
UIC, yes, University of Illinois Chicago, and then the Field Museum in Chicago.
Isn't that where all the people
And-
go that don't want to have fun in life?
What?
Anyway, be joining people from both UIC and the Field Museum and doing archaeological excavations in eastern Hungary. So, and this was kind of just, it was really just interesting how I got this opportunity in the first place because, okay, so at Illinois State, I was the vice president of the Anthropology Club, and one of the things that we do with the Anthropology Club every year is about a week or two before finals week, we'll make a trip to, a museum and just kind of as a way to let off some steam before finals week and just kind of just have some fun, get to chat and interact with the people that we've done the club with the whole year.
Mm-hmm.
And this time around, we met with one of the curators of anthropology exhibits at the museum. We got to see some archives that not a lot of people get to see. So that right off the bat was really cool. And then at the end, he had a meeting, so he kind of left us in the museum. He said, you're free roam in the museum for the next 4 or 5 hours. I don't know, it was around noon, and the museum closed at 5. So we had free reign in the museum until then. He gave us his card. He's like, I usually work with graduate students, but if you guys are ever interested in any sort of internships, you can get in contact with me, and then I can pass your information on to some of my colleagues. So wanting to make a good impression, I emailed him the day after and said, if you're ever looking for somebody who's got geography and archaeology experience, or any of your colleagues are looking for somebody with that kind of experience, I'm absolutely interested in any sort of internships that you guys can offer me. And he said, will do. I'll pass your information on to people in my department. Not thinking anything of it. 2 days later, I see an email in my student email inbox, and saying, to make a long story short, essentially offering me this internship in Hungary. And at first I couldn't believe it because I literally contacted this guy 2 days ago.
Yeah.
And I was not expecting anybody to get back to me for weeks, if not months.
Right.
I didn't think anything was going to come out of this immediately. And then at first I was a bit skeptical because it just all seemed so good to be true because I really hadn't done anything to get it. All I had done was send a short email to a guy.
That's all you need.
And yeah, and it was just, maybe a month and a half later, here we are now. I've got a passport. I'm registered for a class. Everything's basically all I have to do at this point is get on the plane.
Cool.
Like,
so
everything
let's hope
is
you don't
pretty-
mess that part up.
Yeah. Oh.
Part is hard.
Yeah.
Well, it's gonna be fun because I'm gonna have to. I'm flying to London, and I have a 4-hour layover in London, and then I'm flying to Budapest, and then I have to figure out when I land in Budapest. Yes, I'm landing. I'm gonna listen to that song when I land.
I can't do that, guys.
So there's
It's like a
also
shrimpy white guy
there's
that sings
also
that.
there's also a song by Three Doors Down called "Landing in London," and when I land in
Sorry, I just took a swing in the dark. Is that how it goes?
I was like, oh,
did I say 3 Days Grace? I meant Three Doors Down.
No, you said 3 Doors
Yeah,
Down.
I wasn't sure.
I don't know what they sound like.
Three Doors Down, 3
just
Days Grace
subconsciously
kinda.
thought of 3 Days Grace.
It was actually like I kind of like, now that I think about it, it was actually not a bad 3 Days Grace impression.
Yeah.
I will say. And when I'm landing in London, I'm going to be listening to that song. And now nobody else will be able to hear that I'm listening to that song, but I will, and I will probably be laughing my ass off.
You're gonna
my sense of humor is just because I'm landing in London while I'm landing in London.
Yeah, but why is that? Is it really laugh worthy or something?
Yeah, why not?
To me,
You enjoy your life.
that's why
dude.
I said I'm the only one that's going to be laughing,
know.
and not
People are
just
gonna
because
be looking
I'm
at
the
you
only
like,
one
what the hell
listening
is
to
wrong
it.
with this guy?
So that's kind of something that I'm really, really looking forward to. That's just kind of like I said,
You're
it was
looking
just kind of
forward to
something
landing
that
in
fell into
London?
my lap.
Yeah.
That's something that's gonna keep me going throughout that initial flight. Is just kind of just that.
How long is that flight?
8 hours. The first flight's
Oh,
8
that's not
hours.
bad.
How long would it be if you were just flying from here to
Budapest.
yeah?
That I don't know.
Is Budapest in Hungary?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Budapest
I didn't
is
know
the capital of Hungary.
that. Gotcha.
Geography, man.
Yep.
I mean,
Checks out.
I a lot of. All right.
Well, him and Tom.
I don't know if
Yeah,
that's specific.
It
I don't
was-
know.
yeah, it was just a test. Just trying to throw them off.
And I failed.
Nepal, man.
And you failed.
Nipple.
No, Nepal.
Nipple.
From Trevor K's episode.
Nipple.
Oh, the one where it was banned in that country.
I was
And the other countries.
And I was gonna guess it. And
Yeah.
I just didn't.
Anyways,
You'll
yeah.
hear about it later.
Cool.
It hasn't
So
come out yet.
that's gonna be exciting. We're gonna have to hear all about that. It's a shame you can't tell us about it now, even though it happened 2 weeks ago.
Link in the description below.
No.
No. The other.
I don't know what.
That's kind of just like, I feel like that's just an easy default when you're making a YouTube video.
You could
say, link in the description below if you don't want to talk about shit.
You could comment when the video comes out.
Or just make a new
Can I plug the
podcast
channel?
episode with
Leave
it.
a like.
Can I plug the channel?
Plug the channel. Leave a like. Comment.
Hey
Subscribe.
guys, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to Nois Bois Gaming.
Nois Bois.
Noise Bois.
The channel where I guess.
How do you plug the wrong
The
channel?
channel that you are currently watching this video on.
Yeah.
Yep.
Imagine plugging the
Okay,
wrong
so I
channel.
want to go back a little bit to like
Take
the
it back
beginning
to
where you were talking. We've made this joke already. So archaeology, right? Everyone knows archaeology. You dig up dinosaur fossils, right?
Well, that or Indiana Jones. It's really kind of, people are going to make a connection to either that or Indiana Jones.
If you want to
It's
be a
really
good
just crapshoot.
historian, you gotta get out of the classroom.
Yeah, but like
or something like that.
it's-
Archaeologist.
it's not just
That was actually that. Yeah, one of my former professors actually, like, my freshman year told me, he's like, you can't like simulate archaeology. He's like, you have to go out in the field.
Was your butt starting to hurt?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, for those that can't, see because it's audio.
It's quite a lot quieter
Yeah,
now.
Luke got out of his chair to sit in the beanbag. We're at quite a high table, so his nose reaches the tabletop.
So anyways, the question I'm trying to get to, right, about archaeology is it's more than just fossils, right? Like, do you?
It's really not concerned really that much with fossils.
Yeah.
Because fossilized material is a lot older, and it's really concerned with kind of human history after humans become aggregated, as far as like start to become civilized and start to combine themselves into defined communities and start to kind of using relation or as a way to sort of define a group and kind of separate themselves from others. I can't think of the word.
Like clicks, I guess.
In a sense, yeah. In a sense, for lack of a better word, I guess we can say start to. But so it's really kind of concerned with the physical aspect of human prehistory. Well, but there is also a sphere of archaeology called historical archaeology that's concerned with human history after the invention of written records. So basically any time after, but mostly it's concerned with human prehistory. So kind of once humans become more social and more connect more with each other and start to form civilizations, that's really what archaeology is concerned with.
Yeah.
But anthropology is just, I can't even begin to define a number of different subdisciplines and shit. It's kind of like music, there's always going to be more spheres of a discipline that evolve over time.
Yeah.
So it's kind of splitting hairs at that point, because there's no way you're going to be able to tackle everything in the time that we have. But yeah, it's not only is it not something that you hear people to talk about a lot, it's just not something you hear people major in.
Right.
My department at school is relatively small, like maybe 60, 70 undergrads.
Mm-hmm.
Very tiny group. You start to maybe a collection of, I don't know, 10 to 15 professors. So professors learn your name and vice versa relatively quickly, which, I think is a benefit. Some might not see it that way, but I kind of like that, because I feel like it starts to become a little bit more individualized, and they start to think of you less as a group and more as individuals, and kind of connect with everybody on an individual level.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with geography. In a relatively short amount of time, I've kind of, learned a lot of people's names as far as other majors and professors and whatnot. So it's an experience that I've enjoyed. Boy, we cannot catch a break with those water interferences. Just in one form or another, water has interfered with our podcast. What is that, the third time?
My question is, what's like the end term goal? You're 60 years old. You've accomplished everything you wanted. You haven't overdosed.
Sean and I are married.
Sean, you're Sean and married. You're providing all of his income.
Adam's your adoptive
what job?
child.
Yes, precisely.
With what job? What position are you looking for?
Pimp.
I really still don't know.
No?
I really
That's
at
okay.
this point, like, it's not just that there's nothing that I can think of to do. It's just that there's so many different things that I could do.
Yeah.
And at this point, like, I'm not really far enough along in my education to kind of like say, oh, I want to specialize in this or specialize in that. I'm still like trying to figure out what I want to do.
This part of your education is kind of learning where
right.
in
And I'm kind of like picking things up as I go along, and using that to mold what I want to do, and kind of but I would in best case scenario, I would like to do something that combines both my majors, not necessarily just so that my degrees are worthwhile, but just because they're two things that I have a strong interest in, and I really would like to do something that allows me to use both. So that's kind of like as specific as I can get at the moment. Otherwise, it's just kind of something I'm gonna have to find out as I go along.
Okay, sounds good. What else? So we talked about games already. Are there any games you play that we haven't talked about?
Rocket League.
Big ones?
Austin's coup de grace.
I'm the only person in our friend group that doesn't play Rocket League, apparently.
Really?
No, but everyone seems to say
Trevor's still be better than me.
I'm not.
I'm gold. I'm gold 1 in doubles.
I'm like a professional or something.
What?
Like where you start out, you're a rookie, and then you're like a novice.
Oh, those, okay.
I'm like professional.
Oh, okay.
No. We're talking about.
No. I know.
I know. I don't have an online rank.
You're
that's my rank.
Plat, aren't you?
I'm like low plat in doubles. That's the only thing I really play right
doubles,
now.
yeah.
I don't like standard.
I can get to like high plat in low diamond in.
I don't mind playing
extras.
Standard if you're playing with people you know, but
I rarely get
randos. It's chaos because
I rarely get 3 competent teammates.
Doubles is just 2v2.
Nobody communicates either. Like quick chat's not that hard to use.
Yeah,
nobody uses it.
No. I'm saying like
instead it's just kind of let's just ball chase and just kind of deal with the consequences afterwards.
So like
instead of communicating and actually trying to put together competent plays.
I'm sorry, I opened
we'll just
this
chase the ball and just kind of say fuck it. And that's why I stopped playing Rocket League, because it was difficult to find competent teammates.
Yeah, Zach is my duo's partner.
Yep.
But the problem is that we never have like a competent third person to play with, because it's usually Zach doesn't like relying on a random third.
I thought you said you stopped playing.
Yeah.
Right, because I was playing with randos and I didn't have anybody to play with. But now that it's
fixes both your problems.
Now that it's cross-platform.
I'm not saying I have a problem with not playing threes. I'm just saying we don't play
Austin
threes.
To add my Rocket
You're like,
ID.
please, I don't want to play with
I keep telling Austin to add my Rocket ID, and he has yet to.
I'm going to be honest, I don't know how to do that.
It's not hard.
I don't know where to go for that.
It's not hard.
Yeah.
I will gladly show you.
All I know is that I can't play threes. Whenever we play threes with Nathan, he only goes for demos. He used to ball chase, and he would accidentally team bump a bunch.
Actually, I kind of picked up on that idea. I remember we were at Zach's house one time, and it was just kind of Nathan was literally playing.
All he does is go for demos. That's all he does.
And honestly,
we'll finish a game, and he'll have like single digit points. Like, it's crazy.
I will honestly. I started doing that as just kind of a just for fun thing. I'll go into casual and like go into standard and just kind of literally just take ball cam off and just go for demos. And the amount of salt that you get from people for doing that is hilarious.
Oh, people get really pissed off.
People get very pissed off.
Because a lot of people think it's a cheap tactic, but
it kind of is.
Hey, it's part of the game.
But I mean, okay.
It was an intended use.
Did you ever play Battlefield 1?
Yeah.
Remember the assault weapon that you got when you got to assault level 10, the Hell Regal?
No, but I know how broken it was. I never got it.
And how broken it was?
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like people would just incessantly play Assault just to use that. And just how fucking toxic Battlefield 1 became because of that gun alone.
I don't know.
It has such a high rate of fire.
I just played Medic.
It's like relatively accurate from medium distance. So it's just kind of like just this it's so easy to fucking bullshit.
It's so easy to bullshit.
You don't
Okay.
even have to be good and use the Hell Regal, and you'll just rack up kills
So-
like nobody's fucking business.
What's your go-to game you play when all of these other games are pissing you off too
MLB
much?
The Show.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I've heard good things
Seriously.
about that.
Seriously, that's
Yeah.
like that's my go-to.
Is that the one that
honestly.
You have a baseball
Wait.
team and you
No. I'm just trying to
Well,
think.
there's different modes to it.
No,
There's actually,
because
the mode I play
I-
the most is called Road to the Show. So basically, you kind of start as a minor league player.
Who
and
who
then,
makes that game? Is it E EA?
It's not EA because EA had it's not EA.
I just know that
It's not 2K because 2K
2K
had,
is MLB 2K.
and MLB 2K has not come out in recent years because the
Yeah.
show
Because
just
2K
kinda-
just makes NBA, or that's what.
right.
That's,
2K kind of realized that
of the
they're
s-
kind
of
of
the
their
sports
big
stuff.
money makers is 2K, and they might as well pour all their money into that.
Yeah, I know ESPN is NBA Live.
No,
but,
that's EA.
or that's what EA, not ESPN. They don't like video games.
Now you're on the right track.
They both start with E in their
Which,
sports.
I really can't say that I've played NBA Live. I've played 2K. I kind of like 2K, but 2K is
Oh
one of those
wait,
games that
one
you really
thing,
gotta grind
one
at.
thing, real quick. Fuck EA. Okay.
Okay.
2K is one of those 2K NBA 2K is kind of one of those games that you got to grind at, or else you're not going to be able to compete.
Or spend a lot of
online.
money.
Or spend a lot of money.
Those are your
right?
two options. That's it.
Otherwise, you're not going to go very far. Or if you do, it's going to take a while. So
That's part of the
2K
reason
is one of
why
those games that I stay
stopped
away
playing it.
from because I really have no desire to pour all that kind of all that time into.
What
that
about
game.
what about Playgrounds? That one looks fun. That one's one my brother plays.
Yeah, that's kind of fun, but that's also one of those things that you're kind of it's a lot of times you're going to be going up against people with extremely high rated players
Yeah.
who have
That's like
maxed,
the-
who are
I-
like almost maxed out on their characters and like have bought what are they called? What are their points called? Their currency? It's like
MC?
2K coins or something. I don't know.
Uh,
But like people who just buy a shit ton of
yeah.
those for whatever reason. And that brings me to my next vamp. Why do people donate to Twitch streamers?
we just
Well,
we just had a conversation.
I did
about
just have a
this, didn't
conversation
we?
about this.
It's
It's pointless
not,
to
it
donate
is
to.
so pointless. Thank you.
No, I mean, okay, it's not
It's
pointless.
one thing if you.
It's
it's one thing
pointless
if you
to donate.
like $5.
It's pointless to donate to Ninja or Tfue or any of these big guys. If you have a Twitch streamer you watch who has like 50 viewers,
But
on
these
average,
people that pour
donate the
these-
hell out of your money.
These people
to them.
that
Go
donate
for
like
it.
$100, $200 at a time.
Yeah.
Just like, where the fuck are you getting that money from?
If you're throwing money at the
Why?
top Twitch streamers, don't expect them to read it. And don't get pissed off when they don't, because they're not going to. They don't have time. It's not possible.
Oh yeah, I've noticed like a lot of them. I think Tfue recently like turned off notifications. I think in between games
Yeah.
sometimes he'll read some, but like the notifications are turned
Yeah,
off as far as I
you
can
guys,
tell.
you guys ever watch? You guys ever watch the Buddhism Hotline?
No.
No.
So basically, there's this guy named, and his name's
Wait,
Jonathan.
is
but
this related to Twitch?
Yes.
Okay.
So he does his Twitch. He does a Twitch stream every week called Buddhism Hotline.
Mhm.
So basically, you can call in and talk about Buddhism, but like 75% of the show is people calling in and either swearing, playing like extremely explicit songs, and or just literally just talking shit.
Right.
And it's just a giant
Shit show.
clusterfuck. Oh yeah, because like I said, like 75% of it is people trolling. And it's just one of
That's
the
his-
funniest
that's his
things
income.
that you could possibly
Yeah,
watch.
I was gonna say
His
some
income
people
is those
totally
trolls.
make like that's like Forzen.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
his
yeah.
whole community is just
'Cause
based
people
off
donate,
of trolls.
People donate just so they can have their what's it called when you have the text to speech,
Yeah.
just so they can just like do
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Oh,
What
those
is
are.
What's his name?
bullshit on
Something
text to
Andy?
speech.
The guy who sleeps.
Asian Andy.
Asian Andy. yeah.
Andy.
Wait, is that the guy that
He did,
just does like he walks around or
He
does
has
a lot
like
of
a,
public
he has
stuff?
like an Amazon Echo and
Yes, and someone
try
was
to,
like, "Alexa, what's my address?"
And it literally started to read his address on the stream.
He was like, "No, no, 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 no."
yeah.
Yeah, I've never really watched him, but
Me
I've
neither.
seen
It's
I've
funny.
seen some
I've just seen like
highlights.
It's
highlights.
Yeah.
like I imagine myself in his position, and I don't think I would be able to do it.
No,
because I have
no,
too much-
I could
like,
not.
I have too
I mean-
much pride.
I mean,
have
I
too
could
much,
do-
like.
There was one where he was like, I don't know
I
if it
have
was
too
an
much
Uber or Lyft or
self-esteem.
something,
Yeah.
where and someone made like
Yes,
a really racist
yes.
joke or something aiming at someone in the
That's
car.
what I couldn't do. I couldn't
Yeah.
do the
There was
public stuff.
there was one I remember where he was taking a group of people picked up a group of people from like a bar or something.
Yeah.
And like you know in Dragon Ball where you can Ascension where you kind of like ascend to your Super Saiyan form and like the forms beyond. And so like somebody donated and had their text-to-speech read, "Can you please ascend on the chat?" So literally ascending, what it has to do is he kind of plays this audio in the background from Dragon Ball Z, and literally rips his shirt off. Like takes his shirt and tears it in half and tears it off and just goes ape shit the entire time. Just screaming and just unintelligibly screaming and yelling.
This is the
fucking
internet.
just going insane.
That's how it works.
I like watching some of the.
And these people in the backseat are having a field day with this. They are getting a huge kick out of it. And it's very entertaining. And then and then there's also one where he's sleeping, and then you can donate stuff while he's sleeping. And
you can't do that anymore though. Twitch banned sleeping while on stream.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
what?
That's
Why?
it's part of the terms of service now. You can't sleep while you're streaming. I don't know. I think people were just abusing it or whatever, or it was just taking up like server space. All these people sleeping while you're streaming.
Yeah, it's just kind of. I feel like it's just kind of.
It's pointless. Yeah.
It really is. It's because if you do have text to speech on, it's literally just people are playing
loud things.
Not even just that. Just like what's it called? Ear rape.
Yeah.
Ear rape versions of stuff just to make it extra annoying.
Yeah, but that's not allowed anymore. So that's not allowed anymore.
Oh, just
the
the
sleeping thing.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Well,
I was
gonna say are like some things I like watching are like funny people that have funny usernames when they subscribe to somebody.
Yeah. And they
my favorite one is Ice Wallow and then Cum.
Yeah.
And it gets so many people. Or there was one guy who was in a store and he had a ski goggles on. Yeah. And he said, "Thanks, this a robbery?" He's oh.
That kind of reminds me of
it's a perfect reaction.
You know that Simpsons gag that they always did where Bart would call Moe the bartender and kind of. Like,
I never watched Simpsons.
He'd say for example, he'd say, "Hi, I'm looking for somebody who might be at your bar. First name Huge, last name." Or
Hugh.
First name
and Janus.
Yeah, Hugh Janus.
First
I've
name
heard
Hugh,
that before.
last name Janus. Who's like, and then Mo would shout out to everybody in the bar, "Hey, everybody, have you seen a Hugh Janus?"
Right.
And then Barney or one of the other characters would make a witty response, and then Mo would finally realize what he just said, and it was just kind of recurring theme. That's a lot what that reminds me of.
Yeah.
Just kind of people are just they're
That's
kind of
great.
just. Once they hear that notification bell, it's kind of like, "Oh, thanks for subscribing."
Yeah.
And then they read your name.
It's top tier. Tier humor.
Top tier content.
There was one that
made
me feel bad where there was a guy that was streaming and someone followed him and it was in some probably Asian name and the guy says, "Oh, thank you very much for your follow. I will try to translate that as soon as I can." And then he chose to translate and it was like I forgot what it was exactly, but it was like a rude sentence, and it was just like, oh.
But he said it though.
No, he didn't read. I think he showed it on the screen as he translates it.
That's great.
But he was just such a positive guy, and like seemed like so happy for not even a subscription, just a follow.
That's great. I'll translate that as soon as I can.
And then
thank you.
And then and it was.
It was like,
that's Google great. Translate later.
Okay, we gotta.
Is that a unit of measurement? A Google Translate?
No, you.
Oh. We gotta wrap this up. Last thing, if you've got any like stories you can think of, maybe like something to do with the group.
Oh man, I wish
one story you wanna talk about.
I definitely could have thought up some, but on the spot.
Do you have any, Austin? While he's thinking, I have one that immediately comes to mind about tats.
that was here.
Yes,
please,
Please continue.
You want to, Austin?
Please
you always don't.
Okay.
One of you, yes.
All right.
I really would like to.
Well, my favorite part is that this my dad always remembers.
Anyways, let's give some background, right? Tats. We talked about this in one episode, but it's basically a combination of Town of Salem and Cops and Robbers, but in the dark, like pitch black.
In person, like in person.
Yeah. Right, so that's essentially.
You gotta wait until night.
There's a bad guy who's trying to kill everyone, a good guy who's trying to stop the bad guy, and a doctor who can bring all the other people back to life if they get killed.
But the whole point is that you don't want anyone else to know your role.
Right.
And
no one knows anyone else's role.
Yeah. So the point is that the doctor doesn't want to.
Extremely important role.
Yeah, extremely important. So because if the doctor dies, then the whoever the bad guy is, they have free range to kill anyone without worry of them coming back.
They can know, okay, this person's dead and they're staying dead. I don't need to listen to see if they come back to life.
But you're not supposed to know if you killed the doctor or not. So what happened is we were playing, and Luke was the doctor, and he gets killed, and he goes, "The doctor's dead! The doctor's dead!" And everyone goes, "Luke! Luke, what are you doing, you moron!"
Yells in my direction. The lights turn on. Everybody is pissed.
And I was like,
"What the hell?"
There were like 8 of us, and we all just got together.
Everyone.
And we were just
right at the start of the game. This was like a minute or 2 into the game.
Well, but like I said, one of my favorite parts is that my parents were upstairs sleeping, and my dad heard it, and he still remembers it to this day. And it's just funny that it's one of those stories.
The next day, wasn't he like, yeah, what was going on?
He was like, why was everyone screaming Luke?
I heard everyone just yelling Luke all at the same time. What happened? Yeah, so that was the story of Luke hilariously messing up this game.
All right, I think I thought of a good one. So there's one time in elementary school. Now, for those of you who don't know, our friend Austin has allergies to what? Eggs,
a lot
peanuts,
of things.
A lot of things.
I'm not going
to make
run
a
through
long
the
story
list
short.
right now.
A lot of things. And so there was one time in
I know
school,
the story.
Yeah, I know. I knew Austin would remember
hear
it.
this.
And so Austin, I can't remember. Did you not bring a lunch or
no?
You were just still hungry.
Yeah.
And I had, you ever had Nutri-Grain bars?
Yeah.
The little,
that strawberry. And
right, strawberry, blueberry, apple, and I'm pretty sure it was an apple one.
Yeah.
And Austin was hungry, and I'm like, here, I'm not going to eat my Nutri-Grain bar. You can have it.
Yeah. So
I don't know how long after this it was, but I remember, and I don't know how I remember this, but we were supposed to have indoor recess that day. I think it was in the winter, and I give Austin my Nutri-Grain bar. He eats it. Lo and behold, there's something in it.
No. There was nothing. It was. I don't think anything happened. I'm pretty sure it was.
You went to the nurse.
Well, because what happened is somebody else said something that made me think, oh God, what's going to happen to me? That's what caused my fear. Is someone. And everyone was making Luke feel awful for giving me this thing.
Terrible. They were telling me, you're going to kill Austin. And I'm like,
God.
leave me alone.
We're like in elementary school.
He was hungry and I gave him a Nutri-Grain bar. What
and the biggest problem with this is that Nutri-Grain bars don't have their nutrition it's only on the box. It's on the box. It's not on the wrapper.
Individually wrapped Nutri-Grain.
Wow. So the nurse was like, well, I have no idea of knowing what's in this. And I'm like, oh my God, what's going on? So
literally she just has Austin sit in there for the entirety of recess after lunch. And I'm like, I feel so terrible. I sit
because Luke's getting bombarded by other people.
I partially sat in the nurse's office with him because I knew people would just berate the hell out of me if I were to
well, they already did. Yeah. They already did.
He knew they would continue.
Oh, okay.
And so it was just kind of one of those things that I don't think I ever shared food with you after that to this day, just because I would just out of fear, completely out of fear.
Well, okay, because the thing is that I found out I was allergic to honey the hard way. Like,
you're allergic to honey?
Yes.
Oh, that sucks.
Because I had bad allergies one day before high school. Like back in high school, I had bad allergies. So my mom gave me toast with honey because apparently that's supposed to help. And then I start having it. My throat gets itchy. I'm like, cool. This just sucks. Like I'm having an allergic reaction. It's not like anything major. Most of the time, it's just an itchy throat.
Yeah.
So I had that, and I was like, well, this sucks. So and I'm sure it wasn't the toast because I've had that before.
Right. I have another good Austin story.
Go for it.
So
last one.
I think this might have been junior year homecoming. Austin,
freshman year.
This was freshman year.
Are you talking about
when you ditched me?
Oh,
yeah.
No.
Yeah,
that was
junior year.
This was
junior year.
No, I was thinking about the time I threw up.
Yeah, that's what I
mean. No. I mean, that's an Austin story. That doesn't have anything
to do with Luke.
Right.
That's why I was confused.
But that's why. Okay, so this was this was junior year homecoming.
I think it was.
So Austin and I. So we all went. We all go as a group.
Okay, wait. Can I preface something? Like, I'm not trying to defend myself because I shouldn't be defended here.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was funny. Luke and I showed up wearing very similar outfits.
Yes.
Completely unplanned, and I was like, okay, this is kind of like weird. Like we're driving together.
I still have that picture.
Oh.
Remember when we took pictures in Sean's backyard?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun.
And
those are some cool pictures.
That was. I mean, we also did it for prom, and I wasn't there for prom. Prom was a fun story. Not going to talk about that. Anyways, homecoming, junior year.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys know what happened.
I just went.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on.
So homecoming junior year, Austin and I drove together. It was just kind of one of those things where I'm like, we're going to the same place. Can I just drive with you? And Austin was like, sure. Thinking we're gonna end up going back together. So all of a sudden, so when we get there, it doesn't take long before Austin just starts dancing with this. Who was she? Can you? I can't remember who she was. Like she was a friend of a friend, wasn't she?
She was
blonde girl.
No, she was Quinn's friend. Her name was Annie.
Okay.
And she was, as you described, crazy, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I spelled it right.
This was about an hour or two into the dance. I look over and they're just sucking face. They're absolutely going at it, just making out hardcore. And then I'm just like, okay. And then dance is starting to wind down. Austin comes up to me. He's like, he's got her. It's the
grossest way to describe a kiss.
I couldn't. There was no other way to describe it. It was like just. I was even disgusted by it. And Austin comes up to me. He's like, "Yeah, you're gonna have to find another way home." And then leaves with this girl. And then so I'm sitting there for about 20 to 30 minutes trying to find a ride home. So Tom and his then girlfriend.
Tom came in clutch.
Tom and his then girlfriend had to come back and pick me up.
They didn't come back
and pick me up because
Do you not know about this?
No. Tom and Lexi.
I didn't know you guys
freshman
year. I didn't really like.
No. I thought he was talking about my story freshman year, but this happened junior year.
Tom and Lexi had to come pick me up because since I rode with Austin and Austin goes back with this girl. And correct me if I'm wrong, but nothing happened.
No, nothing happened.
So, not for one, he ditches me. For two, nothing even came out of it.
Did you even go home with her?
I took her home.
Oh, okay.
No, I dropped her off on the side of the road so you can.
No, I thought you were saying like you were hoping you were gonna end up going home with her, and then you just ended up going home on your own.
Yes.
Well, no, but you drove her.
Yeah.
I thought.
The whole point of the story is that Austin and I go together. Austin ditches
completely ditched.
And then Tom and Lexi come back and pick me up.
Clutch.
I'm calling. I call a bunch of different people.
Did you call me?
Probably.
I don't.
Either you didn't answer. Most of the people that I called either did not answer or had already left and were not willing to come back.
Yeah. Oh, I was.
Sure enough, Lexi and Tom were more than willing to come get me.
Because I was with Sean. I went to Sean's house junior year homecoming.
I have since learned to think with the proper head.
And I don't hold
the proper head.
I no longer hold a grudge about it.
Yeah.
I want to make that clear. I no longer hold any sort of grudge about
Austin
it.
just pantomime grabbing his huge 3-footer and throwing it over his
shoulder.
shoulder.
Dude, that's like a 5-footer. Just
you're not that. Just slam the table. Okay, perfect. It's over. We're done. All right.
Okay.
I just want for the record, I hold no grudges about that to this day. It was just a funny story that I felt that would be a good story to end on.
I like it. That's a good way to end it. That was one of the better ways to end a podcast, I think. Second only to the burger metaphor that we made about how life is a burger.
Right.
Burger.
Yeah.
You're okay to
as Ryken Gamus would say. Yeah. Burger.
Anyways, thanks for joining us, Luke. And
thanks for having me. This was a good time.
Yeah.
It was a bit disorganized at times.
It's usually a bit disorganized.
Show me a podcast that isn't.
We've gotten worse. It's only going downhill from here.
Yeah, we're just descending into just okay.
And thanks everyone else for listening. And we'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.